Hey, this is G with Allastrology, and it is time for a free reading. If you have never been here before, we do free readings. Go down below, comment your birth info. Everyone is entitled to one free reading, and yes, it is legit. There is no shit here. No shit here. All right, right now I am setting the sacred space for this reading. And we have been swamped, so this person was given the option, as all of you have been so far, given the option of whether to take a reading with just G or to wait. And I could understand completely and totally, the minute I looked at this chart, why this person was like, no, I will take that reading now, please. So let's get to the overall energies of this time. Today is the 28th of October. I just did another video today about the 28th of October. I'll put it down below. If this is your video, you want to know the overarching energies that are occurring, and then you also want to know where this is occurring in your chart. Well, because you have been selected, well, actually it was your turn in our rotation, it works out that you're going to know exactly where this where's the Mars squaring Saturn happens in your chart, where the full moon or the new moon, all this energy. I'm going to give you the details of where all this occurs and why it's important and how, like, what the hell do you do with it? Okay, hold on. I'm being smoked out. Hold on a second here. Let's go like that. Okay, thank you, Sage Goddess. All right, so we're going to begin with the birth date of January 24th, 1993. January 24th, 1993, 7:23 a.m. If you made sure to tap the bell, you were notified immediately once I uploaded this video. That way you could view it right away. So what we give to all of our subscribers, free, legit readings. The overarching desire of this energy, of this channel, is to share knowledge. Okay? Share knowledge. All right. For you, birth date, January 24th, 1993, 7:23 a.m. The Mars-Saturn square is happening in your 8th house of merged relationships, merged resources, deeply bonding, okay? Intimate relationships. You're experiencing that square in that house, but it also is on the borderline of your 9th house, which is your beliefs. Because where this occurs in your chart, it's right between your 8th and your 9th house. But it is lighting up your 8th house because it is happening exactly on top of a Jupiter. Jupiter blows things up. It expands things. It exaggerates things. Makes things to be bigger than what they really are. Keep that in mind, okay? So this is in your committed one-on-one relationships, business partnerships, somebody where you've merged shared emotions, deep emotions, where you shared money, where you merge, deep bonding house, okay? It's the house of Scorpio. So it's below the surface, deep, deep stuff, okay? Pluto rules Scorpio, deep, powerful stuff, all right? That is being squared by the house of hidden things, by your 12th house. Your Saturn, transiting Saturn, I should say, is in your 12th house squaring this Mars. And it's as though ideas, the tangible world, what's happening is in your chart, you have the tangible world in an untangible place. You have the material in the non-material world. Your non-material and your material are mixed. So ideas of career, highest goals, hopes, and aspirations, those things may have been hidden from you. You may have had a difficult time with those things. I say may because there's another aspect in your chart, which is the house of jobs, of my work, my routines, my responsibilities, my daily responsibilities. That house, you're very strong, actually. You have super strong emotions, first of all. But that house it's kind of like a Martha Stewart mark, I call it, because in the house of our work and work projects, you have the sign Cancer there. Cancer is all about home, all about the house, but in a physical way. But in a non-physical way, it's about my inner emotional world, my foundational psychology. When I grew up, the environment that I was exposed to, the people, whether they were nurturing me, whether they didn't nurture me, how they nurtured me, my psychological foundations. You have this in this placement. So this would be the sign of like a psychologist, a therapist. You have Mars in that house, which is leading back to my original point, which was you're experiencing a Saturn. You're experiencing a lot of tension. I'm just going to stop with the psychology or with the astrology terms. You're dealing with, you have a tension here and you have a tension here. So you're being pulled this way and you're being pulled this way. This is being lit up as it's really important. This is being lit up like it's really important. And at the same time, you have a T-square. You have something up here that is squaring both those points. So up here is squaring here, and up here is squaring here. So it actually forms like, it looks like that, It's this T-square. Got it? T-square. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong place. So you have this occurring. It's in your belief systems of your, sorry about that, it's belief systems in your relationships, your significant one-on-one relationships. It is the idea of peace and of beauty and things being harmonious and balanced. You're a strong believer in fair and equality. And that's all squared. Now, this squaring that you're getting, you're used to this. You were born with this square. You have, it's funny. Well, it's funny, but it's not. But you're getting an emphasis of it. In other words, it's a reminder. It's something you've always known. It's something you've always been living with. But now it's being highlighted. It's being brought up again, okay? And so you're being asked to somehow reconcile this in your own mind because this is really about your belief systems. But there's also a little taste of professional career and work here. But it's really deep emotional. It's as though there's inklings of, okay, I always knew I wanted to be this when I was younger. I mean, I know we all have that. But for you, because you have Mars in that house of work and jobs and daily responsibilities, you'd be an astounding mother, okay? Astounding. And you might have very specific and clear ideas and routines about that. You might be very organized when it comes to something like that. And you might be like, oh yeah, I can totally do this. This is, yeah. I just know how to do these things. And not just know, but you have this power, this action, this assertiveness in a house placement of power, action, and assertiveness. So you are willing to go the extra mile. You have no problem. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. You probably would need to, yeah. The beauty of your chart is because you have a square and a balanced sign, it's almost saying to you, hey, the balance now does need to be established, okay? There's probably a big imbalance that's occurring or has occurred. But luckily, because you have this square all the time, I feel like I'm going around in circles as I'm saying this to you because I'm repeating, because what I'm saying is you have similar energies occurring that already always occur in your chart. Does that make sense for you? You were born this way, but at this time, the current planets are moving in such a way where they're reinforcing that. But instead of this planet being here in your natal chart, it's now over here. And instead of this planet normally being here, it's now at the opposite end. So they're reinforcing it, but giving you a different perspective. How's that? They're reinforcing it, but giving you a different perspective. And this is also being reinforced by Uranus opposing this new moon that we have. Okay? The new moon is today, and Uranus is opposing it. And the moon is a reflection of our sun, but the moon is covered right now. It's the new moon. However, it's kind of like a full moon because Uranus is involved. And so for you in particular, this is happening in your thinking. Remember, I mentioned something earlier about your beliefs, but it's happening in your ideas of what do I value, what is truly important to me. I know you value siblings, friends. That's very, yeah, that's important to you. But you may seem kind of let's put it like this. You're going to be a friend who's going to be there for people. You're the stable one. You're the one that people can count on. You're dependable, and you value those things in other people as well. Now, because Uranus is in that house for you, you're going through a transformative time, but the moon is lighting that up. Your belief systems are likely maybe changing, that you can be valued as a good friend because of your stability, because of your reliability, because of your dependability, because of how responsible you are, okay? Trustworthy. So your ideas of how you can show up in the world in significant one-on-one, deep bonded relationships, your understanding your value, your ability to listen, to communicate, your ability to have a love of the home, to value children, to understand the components that are needed to make up a home. And I believe because we're having, like I said, this Uranus thing happening, it's as though your brain in particular, you might have even been having a hard time sleeping the last few nights. Your brain in particular, the way you think about yourself and your values, there's that light being shined. There's a moment of, whether it's aha, I don't even know if I should say aha because it's Uranian. Uranus is involved, and Uranus is more of like something occurs and it shakes you up. And it doesn't have to be a bad shakeup. It's just that it's called the awakener. So it somehow brings your awareness onto something that you did not have an awareness of before. So this is a good thing. This is like awesome, actually. It's a time of deep transformations. I'll put a video below for you because you want to watch it. It's about a little bit more details of what we're going through at this time, and it'll further explain this connection when it comes to Uranus and this new moon that we're experiencing today. So for you, that's happening in your places of your thinking. It's happening amongst your siblings. The way you communicate, social media, okay? The way you talk with others and network, all right? And your belief systems around those things, okay? All right, so that's what's going on right now. I thought it was fair to give people where these big current energies are happening more detailed so they understand in their chart. So, okay, everything just disappeared. We're back. We are back in action. So now let's move forward and let me go and take a look at December 26th for you. I have dates that are important because we're coming upon a time where we have bigger energies occurring, more substantial events. I thought it best to utilize your free reading on those moments. So let me pull that up for you. There's a big conjunction happening, but before that conjunction in January of 2020, we face an eclipse the day after Christmas. So for you, let's see what you have. Let's see if you've got any current planets sitting in a spot where transiting planets may be hovering over and adding an intensity to. So what I am seeing is that you do not have anything there. So the eclipse will happen in your 12th house. Eclipses trigger change. So anytime you hear someone say eclipse, change. 12th house. What is the 12th house? Right? Unless you have planets in the 12th house, it's really hard to understand and to wrap the mind around the 12th house. And the 12th house is the non-tangible, but it's also Pisces. So if you read up on Pisces energy, you would understand the 12th house. Okay? It's ethereal. It can't be grabbed. You know, it's non-tangible. It's connecting to this other side. And when you connect to the other side, there's this almost beauty and peace. I don't know if I should say the word nirvana, but I don't know. Sometimes for me it feels like that, honestly. But it's the ability to escape the physical realm. So a lot of people typically, if they have lots of planets in that house or it's not well aspected, they would want to constantly escape. And so people associate the 12th house with alcohol and drugs and something that whatever the person's choice is, whatever their, choose your poison type of thing is, to escape. whatever means, you would do something in a means to escape. So because the 12th house is that place where you just go to get away. You know, if you're a Christian, it's where Jesus would go. Jesus went to the garden and Jesus would speak to Father. And so Jesus had to leave the group and had to go and seek solitude to connect with Source type of thing. That's the 12th house, okay? 12th house in a very physical way, because for you it's very physical. You have Capricorn in your 12th house. Capricorn is all about being responsible. It's about time. Okay, because it's Saturn ruled house. It's about my highest worldly ambitions and goals. So having Capricorn, well, it's a very good possibility that because you have something physical there, you may use something physical to go that route. You know, like you might be good at meditating or you find it difficult. There's extremes and you have planets there. But the whole point of all of this is that you don't have anything there where the eclipse is going to be. Does that mean there's not going to be any changes to this house? No, that's not at all what this means. What I need for you to understand is that in January 13th, to be exact, let me take you there. January 13th, January 12th, January 13th, there's a big conjunction between Saturn and Pluto. All right. Big conjunction between Saturn and Pluto. And in your chart, this conjunction is happening right on your ascendant. Your ascendant is at 23 degrees, okay? And this is where the conjunction is happening. You're going to have Saturn sitting on your ascendant. You're going to have Pluto sitting on your ascendant. You're also going to have the Sun sitting on your ascendant. You're also going to have Mercury sitting on your ascendant. Now, this person is a Capricorn rising. So anybody who is listening to this video that is a Capricorn rising, you're going to want to know what degree of Capricorn is sitting on your ascendant to understand better how this big conjunction in 2020, how it lines up for you in your chart. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's right on your ascendant. The only way to know that is to get a chart, okay? Go down below, comment. Even if you've already had a reading from us, even if you've already had a reading and you don't know anything about astrology and you at least want to know, hey, is this shit happening on my ascendant? You can comment that to me. All I got to do is digitally pull up your chart on my end, look at it. It only doesn't take a whole lot of time for me, and then I can comment back to you and let you know, dude, this is happening on your ascendant. Watch this video or whatever. Like, this is how you're going to be able to get through this. Or this is what this is going to mean for you. So getting back to you in your video or in your private reading here. These things are all on your ascendant. Now, you're going to have the sun there. The only thing that would make this like a horrific thing is to find out what's squaring it. So what's going to be squaring this in your chart? You don't have any planets, okay? When I look up the square for you, all right, there is nothing in your chart that squares it. Now, transit-wise, we all have Eris, the goddess divine feminine, squaring this 23 degrees of Capricorn on January 13th of 2020. So for you, squaring your ascendant, what does my ascendant mean? My ascendant is my physical body. My ascendant is me. My ascendant is who I appear, my physical appearance. My ascendant is the world's first contact with you as a being in a body. That is what our ascendant represents. Okay, so we are back. Yes, I had some technical difficulties. However, we're going to pick right up where we left off. And so we were talking about your ascendant and the January 13th, 2020 big conjunction that we all have coming. Ascendant, as I already explained, has everything to do with your physical body, has to do with your appearance on your presentation to the world, how the world sees you. Now at this time, I want you to simply be aware that there's Pluto is involved. Pluto is power. And Saturn is involved. Saturn is about restrictions. Saturn is about doing things the right way, time. Hold on, let me turn down this stuff on the computer. So what I want you to do at this time is to just be aware of your ideals, because all this energy that you're going to have occurring on your ascendant is going to cause friction to your belief systems. It's going to cause friction with how you think. So your best bet is to simply not enforce your ideals on anybody else, on people in your life, especially those in the workplace, especially those in your intimate one-on-one relationships, on siblings, on friends, anybody that you deal with as far as marketing, social media. Keep in mind that you have a high level of ideals. Your ideals are based on peace and beauty. And so for someone like you, there might be a part of your belief system that is unattainable almost to others, okay? Because it's very, very idealistic. And idealistic, I totally get it. It's beautiful. You know, you want peace, you want harmony, you want balance, you want equality. And those are all wonderful things. But just for you at this time, all you have to do is keep in mind it's just about your thought, controlling what comes out of the mouth. Be harmonious in your thoughts and understand that wherever it is that you're at in your thinking and your belief system, everybody around you, everybody in your life has the ability to get there in their own time. We're all on the same path, but we're like all on different spots on that path. And so we each reach that point at a different time. And all you got to do is honor and respect that. Now, the other thing you have at that time is you have some help because you have this beautiful Neptune effect that is going to be there. Actually, that's there on your ascendant all the time. You were born this way. And Neptune, again, is very highly idealistic. Neptune is dreamy-like. So that, again, lends to the idea of having, high ideals, almost dreamlike, okay, where it might be unrealistic for a lot of others. They may see you as, oh gosh, that sounds great, but, and that's okay. Not everything has to be shared with everybody. This would be something that you could actually put in a tangible way, write things out, maybe make stories with these things, create whatever it is you want to do. I always talk about people writing, but not everybody likes to write, but just, do something creative with this. This would be a great outlet for you. And again, this is in January. In January 2020, January 13th is when that all pretty much begins. Now, there's nothing shattering other than that for you at that time. That's the biggest thing you'll be dealing with is your thoughts, is your thinking, and is your belief system. But realize that around the world and for people in your life, we're all having a huge intensity of planets there. So you may notice a lot of friction in others at this time. You may notice a lot of tension with others, or you may be the witness of them having friction and tension and, kind of like power struggles with others in their lives. And just be the supportive one, be the idealistic one, be the one shining the light for people. There's a few other things I wanted to mention before I wrap this video up for you. And it's actually pulling it backwards a little bit, going to present day. I'm about to put a video out, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it here in your video. November 1st to November 10th. These are days when I'm recommending for people because there is a powerful energy in play, kind of a Clash of the Titans type of energy for November 1st through November 10th. And I would recommend during this time to really just taking a step back from any sort of confrontations, any sort of disagreements, just taking a step back and breathing and saying that, you'll think about it, whatever it is that's being discussed, or if there's a decision that needs to be made. And seriously, wait until after the 10th. There's this, like I said, Clash of the Titans, meaning we're each going to want to step in and kind of do battle and not back down. And again, this has to do with, I'm looking at your chart, it's going to be in the house of your belief systems, okay, your opinions, where you think that your belief should be everybody's belief, which can be highly idealistic at times, okay, so you want to keep that in check. You have a great ability to be balanced by that way, but there may be moments where there is such a high desire for the beauty and for the balance and equality that sometimes we don't realize when we're infringing upon that for somebody else because we see it getting out of balance and we're like, oh, but I have to maintain a balance somehow here. So keep that in mind, that actually it all happens in the same place. It's your deep psychological belief systems that it'll come into play with. things that are hidden from yourself, okay? And this is, again, kind of a precursor to the energy that's going to be occurring in January. There's going to be that combination of intensity in January, but this, again, like I was saying, is a precursor to that, because this is, well, I won't go into the astrology behind it. But it's, again, dealing with your beliefs and deep psychological beliefs, meaning beliefs that you have that you weren't aware that you had. So there are some that you're very clear on, and you're open and you share, and then there's ones that you have that you aren't even aware of yet. But they're going to come up, and that's when the stress happens. So the only thing you can do is just be aware of them, and over time you just work on them little by little, okay? With that, I am going to wrap up your reading. You're all set, and just remember the dates, from the 1st to the 10th, back down, no power struggles, don't push your agenda on anybody. All right, take care.